The drift. Two pilots melding memories with the body of the machine. The deeper the bond, the better you fight.
At the edge of our hope. At the end of our time. We have chosen not only to believe in ourselves, but in each other.
All right, Marco. Get ready. This is for real. Now!
Alright, we're gonna tell y'all why you're wrong about not liking this movie. Me and Jake, at least, are gonna...
What do you mean,
you
you all?
Well, not Jake. Jerry.
Me and Jerry. Who's Jake? I keep forgetting your name. But anyway.
Oh, man, fuck that up.
Specific... God fucking damn it.
Yes, again!
Pacific Rim. You motherfucker. Why'd you have to make that up? Why?
He made that up. I just caught on.
Okay. But anyway... What did we like about this movie? What did we dislike in detail? Full spoilers. If you, for some reason, still think like, oh, hey, I hope they don't spoil it. On a spoiler discussion, where it says that on the title,
all caps.
Just stop listening right now, because we're gonna be talking full spoilers with no full spoilers.
We should go by topic first, I think.
No, we should.
So. No, just each person say their piece.
Okay, so here's why I liked it as much as I did. To me, it was just a live action anime. So I'm totally fine with all the acting being completely exaggerated, the dialogue being cheesy, and the focus being on the fights. Black Zeus, you brought up the point that you were bored by the fights. I did not feel that way at all. I had this big ass fucking geeky ass grin on my face anytime something just remotely cool would happen, because kind of like what Jerry said, it reminded me of being a kid and watching G Gundam and stuff like that. Specifically that show. But
specifically?
Yes. God fucking damn it.
Especially considering that they have representatives of different countries.
Yeah, that's what really reminded me. Like the fact that each country, whatever, has their own Jaeger. Which the Jaegers are the giant robots and stuff like that.
German for hunter.
That's right.
Yeah.
And being a fan
You're
of
a smart motherfucker.
being
That's
a fan of being a fan of like Godzilla movies, I've always been a fan of giant monsters, including like not just Godzilla, but every opponent he's fought and stuff like that. And
Shaquille O'Neal.
What?
Terrifying. He's gigantic. Just continue.
Okay. But this movie just like filled me with
he's 7 foot tall,
nostalgia and
he
like,
play basketball.
There was a lot of fuck yeah moments, much like I find in anime. Black Zeus, you brought up the point. Why didn't they use the sword right away? Why didn't they use the sword from the beginning? And I will tell you why they didn't use the sword from the beginning. Because you needed that moment that was like, we're about to lose this.
Okay, can I?
Let's bring out this awesome weapon, and then they use it, and it's a fucking awesome moment. And that's all it was.
Real quick.
No. Let me just finish. Oh, okay.
Just real quick. All right. Okay. My thing with the sword, I get what you're saying that it provided a cool moment, but for me, you have to do that. It has to feel organic. It has to feel like they really did. Oh my God, they were real close to dying, and they pulled it out of there. They didn't have a sword the whole time. They found it or something. They found it, or they just like the scene where he picks up the battleship.
Yeah,
use that as your last resort. But if you have the sword, which is super effective, it's like thinking, why didn't he use that to start with? Why was it like this whole thing? We have nothing left. We have the sword. Oh yeah, and then you cut the wing off, and then you're fine.
It was fucking awesome.
For me, though, it was like, well, it felt like everyone was like, yeah, there you go, and it's for me. I was like, it wasn't believable for me at all. And it just,
but it's not. I don't know. For me, like it wasn't like I'm trying to believe this or I'm trying to buy this happening in a realistic manner, even like realistic thinking, because realistic thinking is let's just use the sword, bam, fight's over. that's what all the fights would be. This needed a build up and a good fight, and I thought they totally.
Well, I get that, but you could have a good fight with him
and just
using
like
the sword.
in different animes, there's always moments. Fuck, even in like the old Transformers cartoons, there's always moments where the main character is getting the shit beat out of them, and it seems like it's all gonna end. And then they're like, wait, I still got my fucking gun. I still have my superpower that I've always had. Which you guys know about it, but it's still an awesome moment.
But it kind of feels like the old Batman where it's like, let me check my belt. I have this magic spray that I didn't know I had until just now that fixes the problem.
Give me the shark repellent bat spray.
What happened with it, it's just, when I'm watching a movie, I don't want to be conscious of the fact that it's a movie at all times. I'm conscious of the fact that, yep, someone's writing this at all times. Where in this movie, I was, because every time, it was very just like, we want an epic fight scenes. We have to make it epic. We have to make it epic. And it should feel epic almost organically. It shouldn't. Every time I felt like this movie was trying to give you the fuck yeah moments because it was trying so hard, but it didn't flow, naturally.
You have points.
I really didn't feel that.
There's a good point made. That recent thing we were talking about, the 22 things Pixar says about good storytelling.
Yeah.
There's one in there that talks about, it's perfectly all right, and if anything, encouraged to use shortcuts and cheap tricks to get your characters into trouble. It's a cheat to get them out of trouble with those kind of tricks. And I feel like that's in that scene where he pulls out the sword for the very first time to get them out of that troubled situation is an example of cheating the story.
I personally don't think it's cheating the story. I feel like it's one of those things where at the end, again, this is a spoiler review, that they pull out the sword and then they cut open a kaiju, but then right when they're about to swing again, their arm gets ripped off and now their sword's useless.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things where if it becomes known and then the enemies adapt, if they become aware of the weaponry, like they did with the EMP thing, and they keep adapting, they could just ruin the sword and it could be their last resort and it's gone now. That thing had acid, so it could have ripped off their arm or something like that, and then they would have no sword. It's one of those things where in a moment, like a situation, like
the other Jaegers brought out their weapons right away, and look what happened to that.
That's my only point with Arsenal keeping it hidden to the last minute, and it's not like the main guy even knew about it. The main Jaeger pilot didn't even know about it.
Yeah,
the newbie pilot who just came in and designed the new mech.
And that also bugged. Why wouldn't he know it had a sword?
He wasn't told. I mean, he wasn't wearing the specs.
To be fair, now let me ask you this. All right, the sword, good weapon, it's effective. That plasma cannon, which I'm sure
doesn't feel very effective.
That seemed to get the job done, and it seemed like you would put more money into this device that shoots fucking plasma.
I don't know.
As opposed to making a sword for somebody.
They did unload all their clip.
But what has more style and kind of looks cool? I really like the plasma cannon, but that takes a while to heat up and everything. And when they start shooting it, these monsters are still coming at them.
Sure,
and it seems like it almost seems like the same way you'd use the first gun pistol you'd have in a video game. Where it's like, okay, well, it's effective, but I can't wait to get the fucking plasma cannon. I don't know.
All right, but to make the argument though that it's that last moment kind of move where you're pulling out the best that you got instead of making it this pew pew kind of gun. Why not make it this? It may not take forever to charge up. It does take a little bit, but it's going to be awesome. I'm going to use it on this scene right now. It's like, oh shit, I don't know. He had a plasma gun. It's like, yeah, it's this really, it wears down the systems. It shuts down the mecha for a little bit, for a couple seconds, and we're left vulnerable, but it gets that enemy, and hopefully it'll be dead, and that vulnerability will be okay. And the sword you use, and you have a couple fights, and it breaks, and it's then it uses some other stuff, and it's like, okay, I still got this plasma weapon left. I'm going to use it on this final guy, and here it is.
That's his personal taste, then. That's you wanting a switch, basically. Let's have the sword as the main weapon. Let's have the plasma as a thing that they would have brought out while they're being fucking taken up into the sky. Well, that just seems like a preference.
That I could argue the same thing about you, though. It's like, man, I really like it how he uses that sword in that scene. It's all personal preference. I mean, I think it's a better point to use something that shows itself to be of more value.
Can I say, for me, I get that, okay, it's a movie, and it's monsters versus robots, and it should just be, yeah, that's cool, but I kept getting distracted by the fact that the robots seemed to be built and utilized really ineffectively.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was their only purpose and why the government created them and why they were put into use was so it would be a cool action movie. And I know that's what it was trying to be, but I'm just saying I want to believe that it lost all forms of believability for me. And I know you're supposed to suspend it, but I can only suspend it for so much when it just...
Wait, so you want to believe that the robots have been working for the past whatever?
Well, not been working. I wanted to believe they were designed to stop them as opposed to just look cool in fight sequences.
But they were designed to
They
stop
weren't, though.
They
did stop the kaijus, though.
The movie ends with the kaiju being
destroyed. First off, the movie ends with them being they're destroying tons and tons of lives being lost and, countless property down, all that stuff. But I like it.
Their purpose being to definitely stop them. However, by the actions displayed in the film, they don't seem to do that great of a job of it. Now, I can understand the whole ploy of it's still humanity's struggle. We're not perfect at building these things, and these things themselves, they got their flaws, and we got to work with them. But they don't really go on with that. They're just like, these things are awesome. They're going to kick ass.
But
why they not work though?
Don't they address that in the movie where you see Idris Elba talking to official government people? I don't know, government people. And they're saying like, oh, we're going to cut your funding, and Idris Elba's like, oh, so they don't really believe in us. They don't really believe in us, but I'm going to fight anyways. Like they clearly established that people don't really think that they're doing this well.
Then in that case, that just argues the point.
Also, can I say I hate that subplot where it's like, oh, we're cutting your funding. Why? To build a wall. I'm sorry.
That was dumb.
That was dumb. And the wall, I was expecting, okay, they're going to build a wall. It's gonna be some sort of scientifically advanced wall.
It's just a wall.
It's just a wall. That's... I'm just like...
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, really, guys? It's a fucking monster.
I remember, it kind of reminded me of, in the Avengers, where it's like, no, we're stopping the Avengers initiative. Why? We're going to nuclear bomb all this stuff. That was a believable subplot. This was just like, we need to come up with something why they're going to cut their funding. But Americans like walls, just that.
They like Pink Floyd.
Going off the argument that they were ineffective. I don't think they were ineffective. I think they became ineffective gradually because they said, like how he was saying, we went up, we became so great and like celebrities because we were killing all these kaiju, and then they kept getting stronger and adapting, getting stronger in levels. Like they got to level 4 kaiju constantly coming in, and no, I mean it's not an excuse again. Those robots don't seem very effective at the moment. Like 2 of them that are supposed to be the experts
of them get
just died.
Fucked up quick too.
But I mean, again, there's never been a fight against 2 separate kaiju at once.
True.
So and also they were mentioning like all of them are in like disrepair. I mean, they're repairing them now, but there's only 4 left. So they have to put all their money into those 4, and they got to make sure they're maintained.
And granted, while they do kind of make it to where they show, these things are old. It's been a long fight. Things aren't working as well for them. They got an old class 1 that's with them. Mm-hmm. They only got one that's the newest class that was only the one of its kind. It makes it special and all that shit. And that's going on, but they don't really establish well off. They do kind of in the beginning show them. Okay, it's kind of a good solution, but then right away in the beginning it's like we did lose a lot though.
Like 20 in 1 year. Or something.
And it's like
also another problem I have is like they introduce them all and they tell how different each one of them is. But they don't seem to really differentiate each other when they're actually in combat. They're all just
it's all kind of just like
things that are throwing.
It seems like just like a lot of like boxing and grappling. The only one that really seemed different was what's the one from China?
Oh, the Red Typhoon.
Yeah, like Red Typhoon had its like kind of unique.
Yeah.
Fighting style with 3 arms, and it was like throwing the monster and stuff like that. And it had its. I think what makes them distinctive are their like weapons.
The only true one that was unique was the main one. Which, the first thing from the center chest, the plasma gun, the sword.
Because unlike the other ones, it was based on nuclear energy.
Exactly.
Just straight electrical.
That one was analog. The other ones were digital.
Yeah. I kind of hated that little plot part.
Actually, I thought it was pretty. I mean, I thought it made the main characters useful and like ready in any situation.
I actually liked it because it gave them a purpose to be like, you know,
I brought you back.
To have them in because Idris Elba is like, no, you're not going out there, and then they're all digital, and you know, since that was
they get shut down with that EMP and stuff.
Because the monsters are obviously adapting.
Well, that's cool. The only reason I really like that a lot is because I like the whole notion of, you know, overcoming something with older tech. Like there's that, you know, you got to look back to things and see how some things back then were effective, you know, for what they were. And we didn't
Jim
really
Crow laws.
Okay. Oh my god!
I imagined right when you said that, I imagined the scene in iRobot when those good old robots are fighting against those new robots.
Oh yeah,
how they're not linked up to one another. They're all really are truly independent and do follow along to the core of their core rules. Whereas, you know, Evie's able to modify the uplink to all these new robots, and they're everywhere. And she has this rogue AI programming that's kind of like made her all crazy. Right. And that's why I feel like with this new thing, Battlestar Galactica has it too. I mentioned that. Where I'm kidding.
I like
more than our
I know. I like Battlestar Galactica. I'm just making a joke. I'm just picking on Jeremiah.
Just Josh and me.
Yeah, you fucking nerd.
Oh my god, Jeff.
Why don't you tell us about Skyrim too?
Damn.
Okay. Yeah, for you fans who are Skyrim players as well, stay strong. Okay, so Battlestar Galactica has that point in the new series. Yeah, stay nerdy, man.
He kid.
Go ahead, stay single, yeah?
No, man.
That's
God damn.
I'm kidding.
Lost all our subscribers already.
All right.
It's a joke.
Oh, it's like, I'm kidding. But
Popular kids of the internet. That's not our audience.
All right. So back to what I was saying. There is a moment.
We have the coolest audience. Go on.
Someday women will like you for your brains. Keep it up.
Alright, seriously though. Now there's a moment in the new series, especially when they first had that miniseries going, where it's like, yeah, you know, it's been several years since the first Cylon War. We have all these new Vipers. They're great ships. They can, if we ever come in contact with the Cylons again, we'll totally take them down. The Cylons come and they fuck shit up. And they shut down their systems. They're like, oh fuck, why my ship not work right now? And then he's like, wait a minute, the old Battlestar's a really old ship. And they still have old Vipers on there. And they fuck the Cylons up because it's like, it's older shit. It's this tech that's, you know, overcoming.
It's like off the grid tech.
Yeah. And okay, granted, you can almost even say it's a little bit like Star Wars with lightsaber fighting.
Very cliche, right?
Yeah, it's like a more elegant weapon for a more civilized time.
You know what's another thing I didn't like in this movie?
Right no lightsabers.
They pulled the whole, the main character's dead, isn't he dead? He might be dead, isn't he dead? And it's just like, no, I know he's not dead. I know he's gonna be dead.
That was a little,
and then the whole, you're squeezing me too tight. I
like
get
that.
But they didn't
I just think it was cute. I didn't mind it being cheesy.
I didn't mind that element.
I don't mind cheesy dialogue. I don't really. It's just there was a lot of dialogue that was just bad. There's never being cheesy and bad. I feel like the two often get grouped together. And no, you can be cheesy without being bad. It's just.
There were some points of the dialogue where I actually liked, and then I agree with Tyrone, where there were parts where it does have thing
a lot at the beginning, like when he was talking to his brother. I was like,
Actually, I didn't mind because brothers do generally talk like that to each other.
Another thing I didn't like was like, okay, fine, you talk.
No.
Okay, just the whole thing of the you know how the pilots have to mind meld or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought, when they introduced that, I thought, this is going to be really cool. I was so excited. I'm like, this is going to add a whole nother element. And it didn't really. It just created a lot of times where they try to add character development and it wouldn't work. Like,
it was kind of just, it was just made for the aspect of like, we got to find people who are kind of like us.
But they didn't really do that. I mean, for example, like, you know, you had... he was compatible with the girl just because we fought and now we know it's like they didn't spend any time together. How do they know
this? I kind of didn't understand at the end, like, how do you determine compatibility by fighting?
Yeah, I didn't get that all. And
they do establish too.
Yeah, I mean,
the more shared.
Yeah, the more they say that.
That's what I was going to say.
They say that in the movie, but then it's never really. They don't go any deeper than that. They just say it, and it doesn't actually have any purpose as far as the plot goes.
Because it did seem like most of the other pilots were like brothers, siblings, family.
He emphasizes with her because of that flashback he fit.
No, because they both lost people.
Yeah,
so
I get that, but it just...
But even still...
In this world, though, like, almost everyone's lost someone. It's not like that.
Well, immediate family, like, to the kaiju, though.
Yeah, and that's why she wanted to
I
be
still
in
feel
this
like that
event.
But anyway, also,
like,
that led to my least favorite part of the film, where it was just Idris Elba and, you know, the jerk guy.
The Australian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the Australian guy. And it's just like, they're gonna fight together. And then I thought, well, okay, how's that gonna work? Since they have no bond, they have, you know, how are they gonna explain that? Because I was like, well, I contribute nothing to the drift. No memories, no emotions, or whatever. He just says it.
Yeah,
that's never been explored. That's just. Can you do that? Can you? Or is there something deeper to Idris Elba's character where it's like, oh, he doesn't have memories?
I don't know. It's one of those things like I really didn't care about it because like I just figured they were just gonna be sacrificed in the film. They're just going out there. I
get that, but it was just one of those things that was just sad that I felt like it was an obvious shortcut that he was taking as opposed to explaining it. Just did, and then the whole plot with the Australian and his dad. It was just weird. Like I get it.
He did not look like his dad. When he said, "That's my boy," I was like,
that too, but
"Oh, so like a friend?" No, that's my son.
He looked like his dad.
What?
That didn't mind. They're both
he looked like his dad. It's just the fact that the dad was.
He looked like he had him when he was 12.
He looked like he had him when he was like.
Oh, it's Australia. But anyway.
Yeah.
No,
ostracized.
If you're going to be a cheesy movie with robots
and
monsters, I'm cool with that. But then, if you're gonna do character development, you have to commit to it. And that was just like he's a jerk. Oh, but now he's not as much of a jerk, and he loves his dad. It just
I can see what you're saying.
I agree with you about the character development, but apparently Del Toro cut out about an hour of film that added character development. If it would have helped, I would have loved to see it.
And then you could have cut out a lot of other stuff.
You just felt for like a general audience. I mean, okay, I'm gonna admit, 'cause there were stuff that I didn't like about the movie, like just not like, oh well, I really like this, but this kind of bothered me. Like, no, I straight up didn't like the fucking crawl that it had after the first fight. And I get it was to establish like the plot and character development, but it was so just cliche and mundane that I feel like they could have done without it. They could have fit in another fight there.
I was entertained.
And my biggest problem with this entire movie is the fact that the middle of the movie, that awesome fight in Hong Kong,
hell yeah,
where they fight the two kaiju, is so amazing and so badass that the last fight was just like
underwhelming.
So underwhelming and didn't even come close to topping the middle.
And my thing too is when they do the whole it's a level 5 kaiju.
It doesn't look threatening.
See, when
it looks like the regular.
The way the movie treated it was like, we're raising it to 11. We're doing this amazing. It's only been level 4 so far. Level 5, and I'm like, okay, and then it's. Oh, it looks just like every other one.
I know it wasn't going to happen. I know there was no way in hell it was going to happen.
Godzilla?
I thought it was going to be Godzilla. I got like a huge fucking boner thing.
Okay,
if I could just... a bright red color.
Another problem I had was Charlie Day's...
I like Charlie.
No, I like him. Hold on. Let me say my issue, because it's not him. I like him. I enjoyed him in the movie.
Character.
I wish you... No, it's not even his character. I wish he would have gotten more screen time. I enjoyed him. I did, though. But my point with him, though, is I thought his stuff could have been so much more. The fact that he's mind melding with these monsters, aliens too. But it's like that could have been. But no, it's not. He doesn't really gain any real interesting information.
They do though.
No.
Okay,
I mean,
they know the plan isn't going to succeed. If
you don't know like who's making the monsters.
I don't know who. I want to know about them. I want to know why they're doing this. I want to know interesting things about them. Not just. Their plan won't work. And it was a slight alteration to their plan. It was. It wasn't like. I'm just saying.
What?
For me, I thought. No, hold on. I have a general dislike in general for movies where it's just a faceless enemy, where it's just like evil, destroy, and that's the whole movie. It's just, whoa, we're the good guys. We're destroying the bad guys.
So,
America.
The Avengers?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean,
although you have Loki, who is a human, but they humanize him though, and I always like when you humanize the enemy. You don't just have a faceless thing, so you can just do the whole America fuck yeah kind of plot where it's just we're destroying everybody. And I thought, oh, they're gonna do that with this. They're gonna kind of,
with the
because they could have done one of those things. I forget in some movies where they have like flashback type things, like in the enemies.
Yeah, if mine, so I would have gotten to know who the enemies are.
Once again, like
see them kill the dinosaurs, like they said they did in the movie.
I wanted to see some stuff, so I actually got to know them and understand them, as opposed to just being, they're evil, they're big, they're.
Jerry,
I get that that's not what this movie's about, but it's just.
Jerry brought the fact that he cut out an hour of footage. So there's a chance they might do that stuff. Like there's a chance there's so much more to this movie than we're seeing.
Yeah, but I'm only judging it based. I'm not going to give it credit for things that it could have been. It's
I'm just
that should have cut out a different hour.
I guess.
I'm going to mention two things. There was one really great thing that I personally liked. Ron fucking Perlman.
Oh yeah,
dude. Okay.
Where's my goddamn shoe?
Right. Oh my god. The fact, not only does he, when you first see him, you find out he's
Hannibal,
black market kaiju dealer.
Hannibal Chow. And then, not only that, but then he survives at the end.
Yeah.
And that's fucking
Which totally surprised me when he got eaten, though.
You know what? I was actually worried about the stick. I was like, oh, they're gonna do some bullshit like the baby has a baby or something like that. I was like, oh, cool, he's alive.
If I could just say something where
another problem I had.
I swear to God.
say what you gotta say.
The title of this movie.
I will fucking kaiju and bite your ass, and that sounds really wrong.
Oh my god.
Where was Hellboy in all of this? He could have stopped this from happening.
No, he could.
Called the Golden Army in?
Yeah.
Hellboy, the best Hellboy movie? Hellboy? No, I'm just
Get the fuck out
Hellboy
of
here.
But go on.
I agree with Tyrone on some of the dialogue where...
Force? Okay, just 4 out of 4 though.
No. Yeah, 4 out of 4, and I'll explain that later. But it does that thing where I just don't like recently, that just movies where they feel you have to over-explain or over-just... Hey, the audience won't remember this, so we'll have to bring this up again. Like, the last movie that really bugged me with that I liked Warm Bodies, but that was one of my biggest problems with that. And this is one of my problems here, where it just feels like they have to...
Better movie than this.
Oh, yeah.
But,
barely, but...
Go on.
No, I disagree so much, but still. But yeah, this, I feel like there are a few times where you're like, hey, the audience probably won't remember this. We'll have to throw this throwaway line in here. Man, I just saw the movie like.
No. In this movie, yeah, I'm confused.
You mean like when they're explaining the plot of the kaiju and stuff like that, and like what they're doing?
This is why I didn't let you talk.
Now that you put me on, I can't think of a specific thing right now because I saw like.
Yesterday.
I saw mine on Saturday.
I'll give you a chance to...
Yeah, I saw the movie Friday night. I still remember everything about it.
I'll give you a chance to rethink it. Alright, the other thing I wanted to mention...
Charlie Day's character freaking killed all the other...
No, he didn't.
He got... Okay, because he did the mind meld, and it was 2 ways. Ron Perlman led us to the fact that they know about everything, the plans, and they can probably adapt even easier and know the plan. That's why they were guarding the freaking portal at the end, because Charlie Day's character was such an asshole and decided to do his own thing.
And not only that, Charlie Day's character, as well as the other guy who plays in Torchwood, I don't know his name.
The guy from Dark Knight Rises. Yes, holy shit.
Yes, he's also in I forgot about that. But both characters, granted, like I know it's been said before, this movie isn't necessarily to be taken as seriously as...
They're exaggerated characters.
But you know what?
It's exaggerated.
But everyone was over the top movie.
No,
not every character was exaggerated.
Really? We're like the
main character's not exaggerated at all.
He's like, he wish he was exaggerated.
I wish the main character was interesting.
Now, most...
I want to like Charlie Hunnam because he was in...
Sounds American.
He was in Undeclared, and I liked him in that.
Yes.
Green Street Hooligans.
All right. But most of the people that were involved directly with the Jaeger program, excluding the scientists, were all very tame. There is Ron Perlman, who serves as an example of a over-the-top kind of character. Because physically, as he's dressed, he's crazy, he's got all this stuff going on, but he's still within reason. Now, Charlie Day's character, both scientists are so over the top. It's like slapping the fucking clown, hitting his assistant over with a frying pan and throwing a rubber chicken at you. It's like, funny? And you're like, I don't accept this.
When they discover that the plan is not going to work, it's like, oh my god, you see that? Yeah. The plan's not going to work. But they say it to, you could have...
Yeah.
You didn't need that line of dialogue.
Which is something they do in anime.
Also, where was their cell phone in all this? They could have called it in earlier.
I don't understand that.
They took a helicopter all the way back just to tell them in person.
Well, there were no phones.
No.
I don't know. I didn't
know phones in Japan.
Even still with the whole thing that that side of the world is called ruined.
Japan doesn't have phones. They're not.
No,
they just got the wheels.
Well, all right. Even with the explanation of the world's been kind of run down by the kaiju, so there's certain areas and cell phones might be put up. They're the fucking Jaeger program. How would they still not have access to something that's as simple as cell phone?
And kind of sounds that whole twist that the plan's not going to work. I was hoping they have to do a whole new plan, something completely different. I was hoping it would be an actual kind of twist where it's not just
they just
dropping a bomb. No, I get the.
They just added a little level of difficulty.
I guess for me too, when the way you resolve a problem is just killing all of them.
Well, that was their plan from the beginning.
I know how you solve everything.
It's just for me. It's just yay, we won by destroying every single one of them.
World War II.
And dropping a bomb into their portal and probably their world, and it's like...
But they were trying to take over our planet.
I get that.
They would do the same thing to us
I was about to say,
they had the chance to do it.
They had to destroy the bridge, otherwise they kept on coming.
Well, I get that. I'm just saying I was hoping the twist ending wasn't just... Yep, we need to find a slightly different way to get the bomb down there. We can't just drop it. We need to drop it with one of these dead things attached to us.
I'm kind of with Adrian. It's just a way to raise the stakes.
It just hide mistakes.
Okay, I know. Actually,
they devoted so much screen time to that.
I actually don't.
That it shouldn't have just been.
Well, that was the ending. I mean, this was the climax of the film.
No. What I mean is a whole Charlie Day subplot where it was him mind melding everything. There was a lot of him devoted to his mind meld with it.
In order to just find that little...
In order to just slightly alter the climate. And it's for me, it's that should have been a huge alteration, not just a little slightly, basically the movie ended the same way it was going to before with them dropping
Maybe, you know what, if they had said that one of you, for whatever reason, need to die, that would have been a higher
You cannot come back.
Yeah.
Or they could have said you have to use the Jaeger's nuclear reactor or something to blow it up.
Which they
did, but maybe they needed a special type of chain reaction the nuke.
Oh, you know what?
And
with that whole thing about they had to blow up the Jaeger. The whole time they were doing that, I was thinking okay, Idris Elba and the Australian kid just kind of sacrificed themselves right now. Are they gonna do this Are they gonna do the same thing? And maybe I should have assumed that a Jaeger would have a escape pod.
That's what I was thinking also,
but they never brought it up.
Yeah.
So when they were going down, I was like, are you guys going to swim? What are you guys expecting to do?
Can I say one thing, because I've been super negative, and I mainly just because Jeff and you are so positive about the movie that it's I want to say why I'm not as positive, but I gave it above average. I mean, it's 2.1, which for me is 2 is average. It's slightly above average.
What was one of your favorites?
My best part of it is I love Idris Elba. I love him as an actor. I love him in everything he's in. Every time every time he was on the screen, I loved the movie.
You mean the future James Bond?
Pretty much every time. I just when
he would be a great James Bond.
Yeah. I don't care if he would, but it's
you just don't like
because he's black, right?
That's right.
No, but it's just when he gets angry, I love him angry.
Especially when he don't touch me.
Yeah, no, that scene. I'm just that was my favorite part of the movie.
Don't you ever touch me again?
If they would have delved deeper into that.
This is just me. I actually would have loved it if the movie would have been this, from when the kaijus first came until when this movie started. That plot where it was just okay, they came. How do we figure this out? The scene where they show the crisis and all the world leaders. And they show Obama on the screen, and it's just and then we defeat them, and everyone's celebrities, but then it all goes wrong.
There were fights too.
That part, that was oh wow, that's interesting, and that was when the movie was. I enjoyed the movie the most. When I was sitting there, because when the movie started, I don't know what I'm going to feel about this movie. Then they showed the old, the introduction where they're explaining, and I'm oh my god, I'm going to love this movie, and then it kind of just, it never lived up to that part of it for me.
if I could add on to that too, like I really want to see, based on the fact that I love G Gundam and like every nation has their own kaiju. I mean, Jaeger. I really want, even if they just showed it or just said the name, I really wanted to see like, oh, what's the Jaeger from Mexico? What's the Jaeger from Canada and stuff like that. And
giant maple.
Maybe they couldn't afford it.
I was going to say Actually, that's the thing. The United States is the only one to really represent that side of the world. You got China, Russia, and
China looks like it's from China too. I mean, like that looks like a Chinese.
What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean, though?
It's mutated from pollution.
I was trying to make that joke, but I didn't think I want to.
It's got the red on it. It's got the...
Oh, they painted it red.
And it's got the dog thing.
Okay, so... I see what you guys are saying.
That's a dragon, but okay.
And, okay, first of all, the Idris Elba speech, I loved. I thought that was like...
We're canceling the...
We are canceling
Actually, that speech I felt was kind of... It wasn't well written.
He seemed like he wasn't sure what he was going to talk about.
I felt like Idris Elba was great in that scene, but the actual speech itself, if it would have been read by anyone else, it would have been like, yeah, that was bad.
Any one of those
kind of made it okay, but the words of the speech were actually kind of
any one of these
generic
movies,
action movies.
Anyone go on.
Any one of these movies kind of needs one of those, like okay, I know you hate this movie. And I'm not saying it's a great movie or anything, but Independence Day I think is a lot of fun.
What the fuck? That speech in Independence Day is a piece of shit. That's not even...
But I'm saying like...
Fuck out of here.
Well, I'm saying like a movie like that, you know, when everyone's threatened by like a worldwide, you know, event, like they need that... Every movie like this kind of needs that kind of moment where you're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking fight and... I like Independence Day.
Also, I wish
you also like Brokeback Mountain.
Also, I wish they
What's bad about
You're
that?
goddamn right.
What?
I wish they had a little more strategy in their fights.
Instead of just like boxing.
It felt
just fucking...
I mean, I like
even boxing is strategy.
I really like the boxing. I really like the fighting.
Well,
but they would have like you need like two people if you had like somebody who was like more of the fighter, and then one person's more the tactician. Like they had a really smart like Mako, the Japanese lead female character. She's a pretty cool character. She's pretty really well but she's supposed to be really smart. And then if she could be like a tactician, I feel like they could have utilized her more, and made her more important.
Because you know they even mentioned that thing like during the training, like you hit him in 4 moves. You could have done it like earlier than that. Yeah. It's like you thought she would have been like
it's like go this way,
figuring something out in order to kill him in like just maybe 2 moves.
I didn't get that scene at all, though. It seemed unnecessary for me because it just seemed like
it was just set up for her to fight him.
Yeah, but I get it. But then that somehow meant they were compatible.
And then
maybe because they're both good fighters, so they can anticipate each other's moves.
No, but that's not the core whole thing of being able to bond, though.
Yeah,
I mean, Idris Elba says, "I just need you for your fighting ability." He needs the Jaeger.
Well, then they fucking contradict shit.
Yeah, then they shouldn't have. But the fighting ability is dependent on the mental link, which they said earlier in the film.
I just felt like, I went into this movie expecting an entertaining... I go into like a Fast and Furious movie. I don't expect a whole lot
It's better than Fast and Furious.
Well, yeah, it is better than Fast and Furious, and I like Fast and Furious, but I don't expect like a whole bunch... This is making me sound really dumb, but if I go to see like Fruitvale Station, I'm expecting a moving, dramatic, important movie. If I go to see Pacific Rim, I'm thinking it's a fun summer blockbuster. I agree that they don't... create this whole character development by whatever they added in there. I liked the whole thing with the Mako, was that her name?
Yeah,
I like that whole thing. I know it's not the deepest character development. I just I like what they added, and I don't think they needed. Okay, that makes me sound really dumb, also, but
that's fine.
I don't think they need to go, as deep in character development as like an Oscar movie or something, because this is a fun summer blockbuster, and that's what it is.
Which was the giant robots fighting giant monsters. What they had in the film did not detract for you personally from the film.
Yeah, and going with what Jeff is saying, if I could bring it back to how I was watching the film the entire time, being honest, I really was watching the whole thing like I would watch an anime that I used to watch where all the acting is like exaggerated.
But anime is
all
more well defined than what you define it as.
I'm talking about the ones that I used to watch that were more like.
And you should mention those.
Okay, G Gundam,
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z were like
Shonen.
Even to the point where it's like the characters themselves were so like exaggerated stereotypes of what they were playing. Like, oh mate, we're the Australians, stay out of our fucking way and stuff like that. The Russians were like, oh, we're the Russians, we're powerful. So it's like, okay, I'm totally fine with that. I'm fine with Charlie Day being super fucking here and there and being exaggerated.
Oh.
And usually I don't allow that in a movie, even if it's like a stupid action movie. Like
White House Down.
Like White House Down.
That was...
I had a big problem with that.
That was just dumb.
But with this, thinking about what it's trying to be, and I didn't think it was trying to be...
I think you just a
smart or realistic or anything.
Oh.
I'm not even giving this 4 out of 4, man. I give this...
I'm kidding.
Here's why I'm
But being that, I'm personally... I'm done talking about this movie.
Can I say one thing?
I said what I like. I said what I dislike. My main problem is the climax. The climax needed... The climax was in the middle of the movie because I can't get my fucking pants from that. I was just sitting there with just my pants for the rest of the film. But it's like after that, it's just
I brought
like
Kleenex.
Oh man, it's like this is why I really liked it because it really did give me everything I wanted to see and it just had a lot of fuck yeah moments and even like stupid little jokes like when he fucking punches through the building and hits those Newton balls.
Yeah, I like that.
That had me dying for some reason. I don't even know why. It's like, okay, this is fun. This is being silly, and I like it.
No, can I say one thing? I enjoyed a lot of. I actually did like the scene with the in the office. I enjoyed that. There are a lot of things I did enjoy in this. It's not when you go to this. I'm not saying you should expect great character development or anything like that, or deep character development. But it's just there are times where it was bad. Like I'm not. It's fine if characters are just going to be complete stereotypes. A lot of them were, and that's fine. I don't mind that in a movie like this. But then whenever you try to go deep, if you try to, have, the relationship between the son and the dad, you can't just half-ass that.
This should have been the whole movie just about them.
Either you just get rid of that, or you put in time with that. You had 2 hours and 10 minutes or whatever. You have time to actually commit to it a bit. There were tons of scenes where I think it would have been way more useful. And they're just the dialogue. I get that cheesy dialogue's fine. Exaggerated dialogue's fine. But bad dialogue's never fine. I'm never going to be like, well, it's not trying to be good. No, I don't accept a movie not trying to be good in that. If bad dialogue's just bad.
I feel like here's why I'm giving this 4 out of 4 because I realize the problems that I have. I realize the dialogue problems. I agree. The Australian guys and pretty much the Australian asshole son and the other fighters who go their mechs go down they're fucked up in the Hong Kong battle. They showcase those people and they don't go into them at all. And I realize that, and I realize I realize that Charlie Day and the scientists from Dark Knight Rises may be over the top, but this is an over-the-top movie.
They should have probably just cut them out and added more of the mech fighter people. I mean, you could have just cut them out and they probably would have
but I like Charlie Day more than those other mech fighter people.
Because you didn't get to know them. Because you could literally cut.
No, I'm talking about the people who get their shit fucked up in the Hong Kong battle. We didn't know anything about them, so that's why I like Charlie Day more.
Those people are far more interesting and worthwhile characters than Charlie Day's goofy clown.
Because without Charlie Day, we wouldn't get Ron Perlman.
We could have actually just had him.
You could get Ron Perlman with just Idris Elba, who knew Ron Perlman, could have gone and got Ron Perlman.
But
Idris Elba.
I feel like this movie just wanted to be a fun summer blockbuster.
And
it wanted to be, and it.
Okay.
The problems I have, I've laid out my problems with it, and
but despite it,
it entertained me. The battle scenes I just loved. There were many fuck you moments, including that haunting. Every time they used the sword and just cut that one, near the end where they cut the monster literally in half. Yeah, that was awesome. Just moments like that in the fight scenes entertained me so much that I just forgave the flaws. I was like, you know what? Whatever, this is entertaining me so much on a level that it felt me like a sense of fun that a really good summer blockbuster should. And I've totally felt that, and that's why I came out loving the movie.
I kind of agree with you.
You know what?
And I really like the score.
I can sympathize with that feeling, but for other movies. I didn't feel with this just because I feel like, I felt what a lot of Tyrone felt with it. There's a lot of issues with it, and the issues outweigh the good things. Now, a movie that I feel the same way about is 300. I know not everybody likes 300 that much.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty good, but I get something out of those action scenes that are in it. I feel more than most people, even the people who do like it. Because I know a lot of people are just like, it's just a bunch of naked dudes, okay?
Oh, that's why you like it, right?
You know what? Shut the fuck up. Okay. All right. Anyways, so
that'd be so fun.
No, shut the fuck up. So you have these great moments, and you have these great shots that show like comic book style action that's well done. But I felt like a lot of action in this movie was very sloppy. It was not a lot of heart put into it.
I have to disagree with that, because I thought the action sequences were at least well choreographed for any mech, any giant robot film, any type of like super CGI fight I've ever seen.
At some points it felt clunky, but that's because it's fucking two giants attacking each other.
I guess for me, can I say something? Like, I realize I don't know how you make a fight between two gigantic things that are going to be kind of clunky, entertaining. Or how you could have done it better than this. But I have no idea how that works. I just know for me, there are long parts of the fight that I'm like, I should be more excited by this because I know I should be. I'm just not. I was trying to think of why, and I think it is because it just felt clunky. It felt disorganized. And I didn't get the sense of joy out of watching it that I felt I should have gotten.
I just have 2 more points and then I'm done.
Yeah, because we're
running pretty long.
Yeah.
But I have just 2 more points. I feel like I said before, the whole other people who you don't really know a lot about, maybe they could have gone more, but and it was a problem, not a big problem, but it kind of bugged me. But I said that I liked how they set up Charlie Hunnam's thing with his brother. I think it was simple to the point. It wasn't
that was actually good.
It was enough motivation for him to
And the difference between this and I think a movie like White House Down is White House Down. I know it's not trying to be a big smart movie.
No,
but it did have those moments that were that we are trying to be like a kind of a semi-serious movie. And this one hit with the scene in the office where you see the balls clanging together. That sounds really bad. Or just scene where Charlie Hunnam's like, hey, we gotta check for a pulse, and he shoots the monster. Awesome. All right, there's no pulse. Funny lines like that, as cheesy as they are, make you realize this movie isn't trying to take itself so seriously, and that's what I think differentiates a dumb fun action movie with just a dumb movie like White House Down.
That was an Arnold Schwarzenegger moment too. That's something you can.
That's something that only Arnold Schwarzenegger can do, though, or someone with a kind of personality.
Let's check for a pulse.
Stick around.
No pulse.
I'd be stick around, and then you grab a huge stick and just
yeah.
Or you shall not pass. All right, I think 46 minutes. Damn, we are done.
We've talked as much as we can about this film. Let us know what you think about the movie. We're really interested in hearing your opinion as well.
Everybody, I would say, would recommend to at least see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe.
No. Go see it.
We face the monsters that are at our doors and bring the fight to them. You can finish this. Today we are canceling the apocalypse.